Hi, you're listening to
Dead Dad Disco
with me, Matty.
And me, Marina.
Together we're exploring the complexities, memories and laughter around the grief of our dead dads.
So maybe you like disco.
Maybe you don't.
Maybe you like talking about your dead dads.
Maybe you don't.
Either way,
we hope that you can get something from this.
Welcome to our first ever podcast. I'm Marina.
I'm Matty.
And this is our podcast, Dead Dad. Oh, we tried to do it together. Let's try again.
1, 2, 3.
Dead Dad Disco.
Dead Dad Disco.
Dead Dad Disco.
Dead Dad Disco disclaimer. There will be some swearing in this podcast, won't there, Marina?
There will, because we just like it too much and it's the only way I express my emotions.
Absolutely. And swear words seem to just fall out my mouth.
Yeah.
So we're really sorry. If you don't like it, then please off now. If that's not your cup of tea,
you might want to listen to something else.
Yeah.
Or if there are little ears around,
shut them in a cupboard.
And then you can listen in peace. Do you know what? I'm going to jump in straight away and say this was the brainchild of Matty, and I want you to say why.
Well, Dead Dad Disco was an idea that I came up with around a night where everybody would go to a club and listen to disco music. But everyone in that club would have a dead dad.
Nice.
So can you imagine the conversations had in the smoking area?
Icebreaker.
And then because sometimes you have conversations with people in clubs and stuff, and they're like, "How are you?" Like, yeah, everything's great. Yeah, everything's fine. But imagine going to a club and being like, "How are you?" And being, all the questions would be like, "So, you're a dead dad, aren't you?" So was it? Yeah, add your style.
Yeah.
So it derived from this idea about this club night, and anyway, it's yet to and may never happen. But I think like that, it's nice to have a podcast of people who will be on the podcast and people who will listen. Or might not have a dead dad, but we're all here for one reason: is to either talk about dead dads or listen to other people's stories about dead dads, or just listen and enjoy listening. Some people love disco, some people hate disco. Some people love talking and thinking about their dead dads, and some people hate talking and listening about their dead dads. But yeah.
It's exactly that, isn't it?
Yeah, and why not Dead Dad Disco?
Yeah, I think it's great. Let's have a party and cry. And cry together. But genuinely, it's about it is creating a space to talk about it. And we don't do that enough.
Yeah. And I think it's quite nice. It's basically just recording our rants about our dead dads.
That's all I'm here for.
Excellent.
Hopefully somebody else gets something out of this.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully we do as well.
Yeah. Well, that's a bonus if that happens.
If there's any sponsorship deals related to dead dads,
I'm there for that. Dead Dad Disco.
Tenner pads.
Tenner pads for dads.
Yeah, anything like that related.
Yeah. But this all did spur from us losing our dads, and finding a space to come together and talk about that and laugh about it. And I guess that's the real reason for it, is that we all dance around, especially in this country, in the UK, we dance around death. We don't want to talk about it. We don't really want to have conversations outside the funeral or the wake or a couple of months after it, because we're scared to really embrace it. And I think that's where our friendship comes from, is a shared experience of grief and being able to not be afraid, whilst obviously not trying to be offensive, but just to face it head on and turn around to each other and go, "Oh, your dad died. Yeah. I guess that's sad, is it?" Yeah. Because everyone's scared to do that.
That's it. And, you say around, I like the way you use dancing around, it's about dancing around the idea. And actually, disco, for me, is about dancing. And it's about not being afraid to just let it fucking go, isn't it? And just enjoy, I'm going to hate to say this word, enjoy the vibe. God.
Oh my God, I'm not going to let you live that down. So welcome, listeners, to episode 1 of Dead Dad Disco, where we're going to dance around and enjoy the vibe of our grief together. This is the question we got to ask: is how are you?
How am I?
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a deep question. How am I? I guess recently I've been kind of okay with the grief of losing Dad. I mean, I lost Dad quite a while ago, so I probably should be by now.
Yeah, you should be fine. Why are you even making a podcast about
it? I know,
it?
for fuck's sake. You only have that certain period of time, do you, of like grief where people are actually bothered about it, which is probably you've got about 4 months where you can really rake in.
You can string it out a bit.
You can string it. You can have time off work. You can start calling in favours, and you can even get into debt and it not be a problem.
Yeah.
But 4 years, people are like, just fucking get over it
now. Yeah.
So where am I now? I'm fucking over it now. I'm not over it at all. Absolutely not. He haunts my mind every single day. So last night, actually, I had a dream. I've been wanting to put some paving slabs on my allotment because I'm 86. And so he came to me in my dream that we were shopping in a shop that sells paving slabs. And let's call it Pavers.
That's a great name.
Just for not copyright or whatever. And we were looking at paving slabs. So where am I at now? Well, I'm currently dreaming of me and my dad shopping for paving slabs.
Yeah.
So maybe it's got to that normality stage.
Yeah, maybe that's part of the process, is starting to think about, you start imagining, just the normal stuff, the boring stuff. What would it be like if he was here?
Paving slabs are not boring, Maria. I've thought quite a lot about these.
Yeah.
Which is probably why I'm dreaming about them. And probably why I should get a fucking life.
Maybe. But your dad would enjoy him.
Yes, my dad would have enjoyed. He did love a good paving slab.
Yeah. So he's still there.
Still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm doing all right, actually. I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking.
That's all right. Anytime, mate. You can't take me seriously when I'm sympathetic, can you?
No. Really, any time.
No, I don't think you can.
Is there a degree? And is there a degree of that when people say, "Oh, I'm here for you anytime"? Is there an overall time limit on that with people, or is there a time scale on that? Like, you wouldn't say to someone, "Mate, I'm here for you anytime," between the hours of 9 and 7
when it suits me.
Yeah. Or actually, here's your "I'm there for you, mate" voucher.
Yeah.
But it expired last year, so when you're asking me how I am now, I actually can't give a shit because
you didn't come to my birthday or buy me a nice present.
And actually, my giving a fuck about your dead dad has expired.
Yeah.
You should have got in there sooner.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a question for people to think about is, I'm here for you, mate. But how long?
How long should be... I'm going to throw something at you. You're going to hate me for this, but how self-imposed is it? Because you phrased a really good question there of how long are you allowed to ask that question? And I'm saying this, there might be people listening, this might be the case as well, but Matty's a long-suffering friend of mine. And I know that you, in your case, I don't know if I've ever said it to you, but I think you gave yourself exactly 1 day to grieve, or maybe even 2 hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 2 hours where I remember you had a ton of people around you who all love you, support you, but I think that can be intense as well when everyone's like, we're here for you, and it's a big thing. You don't need that. It's too much noise. And then you messaged me and we went to a really crappy bar. Well, not too crap, actually, by my standards. And just sat quietly together, making jokes inappropriately about your dad being dead.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think that was just 2 hours you gave yourself to actually
it's like a proper 2 hours, isn't it? Like that. I think that moment in the pub where we were doing impressions of our dead dads.
Immediately after his funeral.
Immediately after the funeral, jolting our heads back and opening our mouths. Yes. Like they were literally about to go into rigor mortis.
Yeah.
On a table in a full pub. I think those 2 hours I was able to kind of, I think that's when I started grieving productively. I think the other grieving before that is kind of almost unproductive. I mean, yes, you're sorting out funerals and you're doing all that kind of bollocks, but it's unproductive because outer stuff that you're doing. Like, I'm doing this stuff because I have to. I'm talking to you about my grief because I have to. I'm talking to this family member and I'm messaging them back after they're saying, how are you? Because I have to.
Yeah.
But it's the grieving that you probably do when you're like, no, I'm fully in this. I am laughing about it, crying about it. And I am actually grieving, or I'm doing something. So yeah, I think those 2 hours was a good, that I probably started grieving at that point. So thanks for that, mate. And sorry to the rest of the pub for doing visual dramatics about what my dead dad's body looked like when I saw it.
I just want to explain. Some explanation. This is what bonded us quite well in that. You know, I got an Irish family who do open casket wakes, and so I shared with Matty. I think I showed you a picture of my granddad in an open casket and said, "That's probably what your dad looked like, mate." That sounds really cruel to anybody who doesn't know me, but I think that is a real barrier to actually opening up, is laughing first. And then allowing yourself to be sad. And I do remember really clearly in those 2 hours, we laughed, but then you cried and it made me cry. And then because I'm awkward at being too sad too long, we laughed again. But you're right on that. That's the productive part of grieving, is allowing yourself to explore all the feelings.
And I think it'll be good to revisit this again. And maybe what we'll do for the podcast is we'll verbally teach people how to do the dead dad something, the dead dad stance.
Yes, it's very therapeutic.
It's very therapeutic. So yeah, let's look forward to that.
That could be a special feature.
We'll do that, special feature.
If listeners want to see it,
dead dad stance.
Maybe we'll post a picture somewhere.
Could be a dance move.
Could be a dance. Yes, perfect. There you go.
All right.
Yeah. So, okay, for you, Matty, where is Richard? Where is your dad now?
Where's my dad now? Well, I like to think my dad's up in heaven, sat around that heavenly. So my dad loved fishing, so he would nip off fishing all the time, and so I would imagine that he is around. He's probably just sat around some lake fishing, doing what he did best.
Just on his own?
Which is doing exactly what he did best, which was sitting on his own, not talking to fucking anyone, basically. But still doing a job, you know?
Yeah.
Like...
Still a purpose.
Yeah. Be like, you're not doing anything. But he'd be like, I'm fishing. Which is great because, you know, we both used to love fishing together. But God, he must have been really good at fishing, but not really good in fishing in a way of catching fish. Just he would be really into it. Like, he could sit there for literally hours in exactly the same position.
Really?
Yeah. So there were probably times in my life, even when he was alive, I used to think he was dead. Just sat upright with a pole in between his legs.
He was preparing you for it.
It's probably preparing me for it. The silence.
The silence and the stiff dead body.
So he's sat around a leg.
He sat around a lake.
He sat around a lake up in heaven. I don't know what heavenly lakes look like, but we'll imagine that they're quite twinkly.
Yeah, no pollution.
No pollution. Yeah. No pollution. And he's probably sat around there. He's sat on a box. He's got a pole in his hand and he's fishing. Well, or he might not be fishing. He might just be sat there staring into the water, doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So that's where I imagine he is.
Nice one, Dad.
Nice one, Dad.
Is there something that really pissed you off about your dad, or something you really remember that stands out, or I don't know, like awkward moments, that kind of the stuff that you feel guilty thinking about because he's dead?
Oh, yeah, like those things sometimes that crop up in your memory, you know, when you've got like when you shudder with like awkwardness, when you're like, or when something happens and you're like, oh fuck, you really used to piss me off when you did that. It's a difficult one because actually right now I can't really think of anything that used to piss me off about my dad, but I'm sure there are many, many things, most definitely. Awkward moments. I think the one thing that shudders through me, sorry if it's a bit Sophie's a bit out there. So we had a family computer, like, you know, one of those big desktop computers.
Oh, yeah.
Like big white box on the floor. That's
what
the sound they make. I wasn't having a stroke. I'll make sure you're there though when I am.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, so big old computer, and the whole family used it, apart from my mum, because she couldn't even work a remote control, let alone a computer. So that was safe ground. So that was kind of safe ground for me and my dad, really, knowing that mum would never find the porn
I knew it was going
that
there.
we would watch.
Yeah.
Not that me and dad would watch together.
I was going,
whoa. No, you know what really pissed me off about my dad is that he made me watch porn with him. No, it was nothing like that. Growing up, I was gay, and I think how my dad found out I was gay was that he would see all the gay porn on the history.
That might be a giveaway.
It might have been a massive giveaway. But my dad, being so fucking awkward as he was, he'd never mention it. But then at the same time, I'd be looking, and I'd be like, Dad's been on porn.
Oh my God.
And, you know, I knew it was Dad because I would
well, it
ain't mum. And I'm not looking at tits at that age. You know? And, you know, vice versa, my dad's probably thinking, what? Oh, that's not me. So, yeah, there's this really awkward moment, probably for about a year, where we've got this desktop computer. And both of us are watching porn. It's computer. Both of them are vastly different. And yeah, still it makes me shudder. And I mean, occasionally, Marina, I do watch porn.
And think of your dad.
I think of my dad. No, but sometimes I do think of this moment.
Oh.
And I think, God, yeah. Both me and my dad had secret porn watching sessions on the home computer.
Touch the same mouse?
No! Oh my God. Yes, we touched the same mouse. Oh, and there's this feeling that I'm getting in my heart and my stomach of it's awkward.
This is the best story I've ever heard.
I'm literally cringing internally.
I'm sure you're not alone. In fact, I would...
Oh, did you?
No, we were too poor to have a computer, but I have heard stories. You're not alone in this, and I'm sure people listening, you've churned some memories for them. The thing that I'm really grappling with, which is a word I really don't want to use in this scenario, but I have now, is that every time you or your dad went to watch porn on the shared family computer, you both would have had the same experience before your anticipated arousal of...
Fuck. Marina.
I'm just reliving it.
No, carry on. Okay.
Because it's in my mind now and I've got to let it out.
I can take it. Take it. Go for it.
Is you both logging on to be like, oh, can't wait.
Fuck.
And you logging on, seeing a bunch of boobs, being like, oh, God, Dad. And then your dad logging on and seeing a bunch of knobs and be like, oh, God, Matty. I bet you never had a wank, either of you, the same way ever again.
It just spoilt it. It probably definitely spoilt it for both of us, I think.
Oh, I'll pay money for any guest that comes on this show and has a better story than that one.
It's just I mean, there's loads.
You can't even look at me right now.
I cannot look at you. I'm so ashamed. And that would be the, you know, that, oh, can you imagine the feeling of both of us then when we both first realised?
And no words were spoken.
And I don't know, it must have been like, oh shit, I better delete the history.
Did you?
And then thinking like, fuck. And then I think there must have been a period between where we were just deleting the history. I don't even know. I can't even remember. It will come back to me. I hope it doesn't come back to me. At some point where I remember the ending, whether we actually confronted each other about it. But it's one of those things
Have
you never
blacked
do.
Out?
No, I don't think we ever spoke about it.
No.
It's something you would never talk about, would you? You wouldn't.
I feel like you might need some therapy after this sharing, right?
Fuck. I mean, you wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't be like, even if it was your mate on the computer, you wouldn't go, mate, look, I know.
I wish we could.
You know, if we're in an age now where we've all got a fucking computer, haven't we, to ourselves, which is lucky, to be fair. I mean, I wouldn't want you looking at my computer right now. And I wouldn't want to look at your computer either. But like, you know, we're in an age now where we've got our own separate computers, and you know, but back in the day, you did have a family computer, and it was like there's like, Jesus, those times.
It's too much sharing.
It's too much sharing.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like sharing bathwater, isn't it?
I had to do that as a child.
do that as a child. Yes. And it was in a series of like, who gets the fresh one, yeah. Who gets the second, and who gets
the hairy, oily, slimy, greasy, grey bathwater at the end. Yeah, I remember.
And it's the same, you know, I guess if I lived with loads of brothers, it would be the same with the mouse, isn't it? Who gets the fresh mouse?
Yes.
Who gets the slightly greasy mouse? And then who gets the absolutely drenched, ridden mouse on the
with
one...
like the grease fingerprints on it.
Yeah, on the one family computer. So yes, it's about, but we can talk about bath time another time. That's probably another one.
That's another one.
But yeah, so most awkward moment is just the family computer and the porn escapade. So yeah, if anyone's got any kind of similarities in that, if that was a family situation for them, like, please let me know so I'm not the only fucking one, because I feel I definitely need therapy now.
Listeners, if you've been affected by what you've heard in this podcast. So here's the bit of the podcast where we talk about dead dad dinners. Specifically, what dinners did your dad used to make? So starting with you, Matty. Come on, give us a classic. What did your dad used to make? What was his signature dish?
The classic dead dad dinner for Richard was his curries. His curries were something I remember not fondly, to be fair. I can only describe them as the curry. So to explain this is how he made his curries. The curries were always made after a big meal. So on like a Monday or after we've had a big dinner. So the curries would always consist of all the leftovers. So it might be like chips or any leftover roast dinner, or basically anything that we'd had over the last kind of 2, maybe even 3 days. It's fucking gross.
So like basically leftover ingredients
it's basically
going
leftover.
into the curry.
It's like a bubble and squeak, but not.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that makes sense. But basically, if I could explain it, it's more like, so I think of it as like a curry of waste.
A curry of waste. Did it create waste?
I never, ever had one. And so because my dad made this curry of waste, which is what I'm definitely going to name it now.
That's a good name.
You know, I always detested curries. So I'd never have his curry because it just always looked horrible. Imagine like the leftovers from your compost bin mixed with like half a tub of curry powder and some fucking yogurt.
Oh my God.
So yeah. So for the whole of my life, pretty much up until my 25th, I fucking hated curry. Not because I had tried it and didn't like it, but because I always imagined my dad's curry.
So like post-traumatic
stress
from that. I'd like to ask actually, how many 25th birthdays did you have? Because you did say there up to your 25th.
I did have a few, yeah.
Yeah. So that was his dish then, his making a curry. Do you like curry now? I
absolutely love curry, and I hate him for the years of curry that I've missed, to be honest with you. I also remember the distinct smell of pompadons in the kitchen and that being absolutely foul. But no, I love a pompadon.
Can we just flag that you are saying pompadon and not poppadom?
Pompadon.
Is this a new style?
I do. I love a pompadon. Pompadon.
A poppadom.
Pompadon. So now I love curry, but back then my dad literally made the shittest curry, which meant I've missed out on about 10 years of curry.
That is, I'm actually very sad for you.
Yeah.
I got a bit emotional there because I have quite an attachment to curry, probably more than I did my dad's.
Exactly.
To be honest.
Exactly. So if you want to try my dead dad's curry of waste, the ingredients are waste, some cheap fucking curry powder, and just some yogurt.
Wow.
And actually, in our house, that was the only reason we had yogurt in the fridge.
Was for these curries.
For the curries.
Wow.
So yeah, I'll make it for you one day.
I can't wait. Yeah, I really look forward to that.
Imagine curry and chips, but the chip was the curry.
Did he actually put chips in the curry?
Yeah, like if we had fish and chips from the chip shop,
No.
if there was any leftovers, that would go in there. It was literally, I cannot explain how much of a leftover curry it was.
But there's the idea. See, I'm really struggling with this. There's the idea of like chip shop curry. So chips with a curry sauce. That's quite appealing.
Well, imagine mixing the chips and the curry together into a bowl.
Yeah.
And then adding maybe some leftover roast potatoes or some frozen peas.
Carbs are carbs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Protein.
You know, just being just a big mess, really.
Well, thank you, Richard, for ruining curry for your son for the rest of his
Dad.
life.
Yeah,
thanks, Dad. Cheers. Matty, mate, what did your dad leave you?
So what did my dad leave me? And I mean, I think this part of the podcast we need to clarify isn't about what he left me financially, materially, or anything like that. It's about what he left me in terms of like emotional trauma. No, like in terms of just like things, you know, like mannerisms, personalities. It might be something that he left me. But all I really got from him is half bottles of aftershave. so that's all. What did he leave me? What did he leave me? I always think he left me his big nose. Do you think?
I don't think you've got a big nose, but you are talking to someone who has got the biggest nose in the world.
Well, maybe I'm thinking of retracting saying I've got a big nose because I've just seen your nose on a profile sitting next to you. No, jokes. No, I always think I've been left with my dad's nose. So yeah, but imagine
if he actually left his physical nose. Yes. And sometimes you just wear it instead of your own.
Yes. Imagine. Oh, can I just keep that bit?
Just that bit.
Can you?
He won't need that.
No. Can you just make that into something? You know, when you put ashes into like jewelry and stuff. Or
Do they?
Yeah, you make ashes into jewelry.
I did not know that.
Did you not? Where have you been? Or you can get it put into ink and then you get tattooed.
That's my immediate thought is that is disgusting.
Absolutely, would probably never have that done. But imagine if it was like, my dad left me his nose. And I was actually like, no, really, my dad left me his nose.
I'm a bit sad he didn't.
And now I've, upcycled it into a bottle opener in the kitchen. You know, you just clip it off.
That would be lovely, though. Touching dad every day.
Absolutely. And I mean, who else would have that? It'd be so unique.
Yeah.
So yeah, what did my dad leave me? Not his actual real fleshy nose. But I think I've got a bit of a bulbous big nose, and I think I got that from my dad.
Cheers, Dad.
Cheers, Dad. So on Dead Dad Disco, obviously it's about stories, it's about our stories, but we want it to be about your stories too.
Yeah, we want to hear from other people because it will get very boring very quickly if it's just us. So if you fancy having a chat with us or having a rant or just sharing a story about your dead dad, or doesn't have to be a dead dad.
It could be a dead to you dad.
Yeah.
You know, if they're still alive but they're dead to you, then
we want to hear that.
We want to hear that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can get a hold of us. We'll get you on. And let's have some fun and talk about our dead dads.
I couldn't think of a better offer, could you, listeners? We'll post a link in the copy to this podcast of how you can get in touch with us. And please do. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening. This has been our first episode of Dead Dad Disco. I've been Marina.
I've been Matty.
And it has been a pleasure doing this podcast. I really hope you've all got something out of it. And today we've been talking about
Richard, who actually, if we're thinking about a name for Dad, his first name was Richard.
Yeah. I know where you're going.
His second name was Edward.
Oh my God.
So we're going to call him Dickhead. So thanks, Dickhead.
Thanks, Dickhead. Dead Dad Dickhead.
Dead Dad Dickhead.
Join us again
for another fun, morbid and macabre episode of Dead Dad Disco.
Thanks for listening to us, turning grief into giggles and loss into laughter.
We're sharing these tales to help others feel less alone.
We're just getting started, but we would love to bring guests in for future episodes.
Got a story? Want to disco with us?
Get in touch with us, links in the bio.
Let's make grief a little less grim.